Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Looped In with Maritza. My name is Maritza Gertie. Um, I'm very happy to be here with you this afternoon. It is getting colder here in the Northeast, so I hope everyone is getting ready for the drastic weather changes that are going to be going on. I hope everyone is going to be ready for the next few months in which a lot of things are going to be happening up in the Northeast as far as the temperature changes. As you all know, I am the Northeast Regional Organizer for the National Parents Union. And as such, I just want to give you guys some information regarding the National Parents Union. If you're interested in becoming a member of the National Parents Union, the only thing that you need to do is go on to the website www.nationalparentsunion.org. On there, there will be a tab for an individual membership or an organizational membership. And please remember, it is again free of charge to become a member. We are not asking for you to pay any type of dues. National Parents Union is just indicating a union of like minded individuals that are all about making sure that all of our children, regardless of their race, ethnicity, or socioeconomic background, they get the educational opportunities that they deserve. If you would like information on National Parents Union, you can send an email to info@npunion.org. Right now, the National Parents Union is also in the height of a campaign. It is called the EPIC campaign. And this is basically making sure that school boards are held accountable for how they spend funding for our children. For those of you that do not know, there is $122 billion currently being spread across the country to different districts. I mean, all the districts around the country. And families need to make sure that these monies are being spent wisely. So any of you that are on social media may have seen all of the graphics that the National Parents Union shared last week, talking about how these monies are currently being spent. These monies have come from the Federal Relief Plan, the American Relief Plan, the ARP, and they're supposed to be used to help particular school districts and schools individually with anything that they may have been in need of and are trying to make improvements with regards to the educational loss of children. Anything from need for services, social emotional learning, any child that has an IEP, a child that has an ILP, if there was any kind of technology that is still needed out of school, any kind of programming needed for the school for educational purposes. And what is being seen is that things like AstroTurf for athletic fields are being redone. Weight rooms, for high schools are being, thousands of dollars, millions of dollars are being spent are things that are not necessary immediately to help with the education of our children. So the National Parents Union has this campaign in which if you're committed, you don't have to be a parent, but if you are committed to making sure that those dollars are spent responsibly in a way that's going to help all children, you can commit to joining the EPIC campaign. If you see something, say something about it. Let people know about it. Make some noise about it. If, for example, if you see and you know that right now we're currently in a shortage, we are in a transportation shortage across this country for school bus drivers and school bus aides. We are in a shortage of teachers. We are in a shortage of what is called climate support staff across this country. Why isn't some of that money being spent? Why isn't some of that money being allocated to make sure that people in these positions are being paid a livable wage so that they can stay in these positions, apply for these positions, and be better able to help our short-staffed schools across the country. That would be a wonderful thing. Because many people this day, especially with what's been happening the past 18 months plus, are saying, well, I was not able to physically work. I would like to go back to work, but what's being offered are may be considered poverty wages, below low income. And these things need to change. If we want better, we have to do better. And if monies need to be spent to make sure that these individuals are paid, these people that want to work in these positions are paid a livable wage and given a benefits package that'll make them want to stay and be retained. The high turnover rate, the flight from these positions, will change. But the only way that'll happen is if we hold these school boards accountable. I'll get off my soapbox about that. I'd also like to remind everybody, yesterday was election day for many states across the country. I want to thank everyone that exercised their right to vote. I want to thank everyone that ran for office. I happen to know quite a few people that were running for office. Some did get the elected positions, others did not, but they did see that many people were behind them and stood behind them, and that lets them know they can keep on going until they do get elected the next time around. So for all of you that ran for a certain office, whether it be a school board, whether it be to become a judge, whether it be a district attorney, whatever role you were trying, whatever seat you were trying to seek, I commend you for stepping out on faith and saying, I'm going to try to do this because I want to do better. I want to make things better in my community and for the families in my community. I want to thank you personally for doing that. Right now, this is the time of year where folks are in need because their economic situation may not be where they'd like it to be. The Ray of Hope Project is also having a toy drive. It is still going on now through November 15th. You can look up the Ray of Hope Project on Facebook or give him a call. You see the number here. It's a Philadelphia organization. They are a nonprofit. They're currently collecting toys for a toy drive. Also, because I am responsible for spreading information from across the Northeast, from Maine all the way down to DC, there's an organization called Shades of Cocoa out in upstate New York in Troy, and they're doing a drive to support in memory of a gentleman named William Pope. And they're currently collecting hats, scarves, gloves, and travel blankets to donate to the Troy Dialysis Center. Many of us may know someone or of someone that is fighting through dialysis, that is just trying to stay alive with the use of these machines. Being a part of this very worthwhile event is very good for anyone that is fighting kidney disease. So I'll make sure I put the information for the donation drive in memory of William Pope in the comments so that everyone can see. Now, speaking of community, everyone knows that I always talk about the importance of forming a relationship for the betterment of all of our students, all of our children, all of our scholars, whatever you want to call those little people. It's very important to form a relationship, a partnership with not only your child's school, not only your child's school leader, but it's also very important for people to understand the importance of relationships within the community. And because of that, I am very honored and glad that I have my guest today is going to talk about the importance of community, relationships with regards to education for children and youth. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Maritza. Thank you for having me.
Please introduce yourself for those that do not know who you are.
Absolutely. Good. What time is it? Good afternoon or evening for some. To all of your listeners, viewers, and supporters, my name is Summer Willow Fitch. I am co-founder and vice chairwoman of the Black Women Give Foundation, a foundation that was founded in 2016 by four beautiful and amazing women, myself, Shayna Sally McMillan, Jacqueline Ferguson, and Tamika Otis. And the mission of the Black Women Give Foundation is for us to set out to engage African American women and girls in philanthropy by joining a growing trend called collective giving. And just like many collective giving circles, we believe in creating a philanthropic effort that has two primary goals, which is to educate the members about the community needs and then also to multiply the impact of individual gifts. So it's not about how much you give, but it's about giving together and supporting the community. So we're very, very excited to still be in existence. I would dare to say post-pandemic, but post-pandemic, and also very excited about giving.
Oh my goodness. So you and I had a conversation yesterday. Disclaimer here. I've known this young lady for over 20 years. So she and I have worked in many spaces around many people. So we've been in many different circles, whether it be in corporate America or in human services or in the educational field. We've seen a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So with the collective giving, explain so for those that don't understand, what is required of a person, like the regular person in layman's terms, what would they need to do to be part of this process?
Okay, thank you, Maritza. So collective giving is simply a pot of money, right? So a grant that we're creating. And to be a full voting member of this organization of Black Women Give, there would be a donation of $400. Now, with that donation of $400, you would be a member for the entire year. You would be able to sit down at the table with the board and look over proposals. We put out RFPs each year to give out money, non-restrictive dollars, to our communities around four focus areas. So children, youth, and education, financial empowerment. I'm drawing a blank. I should know this, right? Health and wellness. Yes, health and wellness, economic security, and children, youth, and education, which is three focus areas. So the money goes into the bucket. Obviously, if you're a full voting member, you've put in $400, right? You can sit at the table, you can look at proposals, you can say, hey, I want to vote for this organization to receive funding this year, right? Or if you don't have the funds to become a full voting member, what you would do is give what you have, right? And that's what collective giving is. So if you're sitting next to someone who's given 400, but hey, I only have 100, you would donate that $100. And when the giving cycle is over and we've amassed a certain dollar amount, let's say $10,000, then you can say that you have given collectively $10,000. And that's a true community model. That's the way that many of our communities were kind of bred and raised, to lend a hand to our neighbors and to lock arms around different social issues in our community. So we modeled this organization after that. So collective giving is really giving what you have. And I do want to just state, when we created this organization back in 2016, we definitely looked at other foundations and other giving organizations and our counterparts, so to speak. And across the board, a lot of these foundations, membership is $1,000 and up. Donations, that's where they start. And we didn't feel like, living in our communities and knowing the different plights of our communities and the different struggles and challenges that we face, that $1,000 was the place that we wanted to start the organization, right? So starting at a $400 membership, I've heard somebody say that's low, and I kind of chuckled, and I'm thinking, it's a donation, and it's going to our community. So, yeah, we're really happy about what we've created.
And many people don't understand that it doesn't take a person a huge amount to help. A lot of
No.
people don't realize that. And it also doesn't take a 20 to 25 page application. If you are a very, a small nonprofit and you offer a service and you just need a little help, and what you do satisfy one of the buckets that your organization wants to help out,
Mm-hmm.
they would just need to reach out to your organization and say, hey, I understand you're going to have, grants available. I'd like, what's the criteria? What could we
Mm-hmm.
explain to our folks and let them know what would be the criteria for me to be able to apply to
Mm-hmm.
get some of this grant money?
So, just to take a step back before I answer that, when we talk about this philanthropic effort, because that's what it is, we have to remember that obviously the dollars that we're giving are going to be to a 501(c)(3). So you have to be a registered nonprofit organization. The organizations that we're supporting are the organizations in our communities that sustain our communities. These are the organizations, the after school programs, the STEM research programs. We're not just going to talk about, the minor circumstances in our communities. We're going to talk about uplifting children and youth, right? We're talking about literacy and tutoring, any industry specific education, whether you're working with children who are affected by disabilities or special abilities, LGBTQ plus youth, and initiatives around that. So first of all, we want to, and that's a small list, because if you're dealing with children or youth and you are educating them in some way, shape, or form, then you are eligible, right? So you're nonprofit and you're providing one of these services in your community. Now, here's another I think another caveat to the RFP process that I know a lot of organizations come up against, right? To your point, the long paperwork, and like it's this big, and they're asking for data that maybe you haven't collected, data that you don't have the systems or the budget in place to collect, right? So you're making an impact in your community. You know that the children that and the youth that come to your program leave better than they came. But you also know that, hey, my budget is kind of slim, and all of the different bells and whistles that many of these other grant applications or funding applications are asking for, we don't even participate in those activities. Well, another facet, another really important piece of the Black Women Give Foundation is that we're only giving to organizations that have an operating budget of $1 million or less.
Okay.
Okay?
That makes a big difference. It
$1
absolutely.
million or less. Count yourself in. And that's the message that we're putting across. Count yourself in. Don't count yourself out, right? The application is comprehensive, but it's not very long. But what we do ask for is that you fill it out very completely. We offer technical assistance. We offer Q&A sessions if you feel like, hey, I'm just a little unsure about this one question. And we make it as easy as we can for you to fill out this application, right? More importantly, once you are awarded dollars from the Black Women Give Foundation, these are non-restrictive funds. The only thing that we're asking you to do is to be transparent and come forth with a plan of action. We're going to read that through your proposal, right? We're going to know what you want to use the money for, but we're going to hold you to that through our auditing process, where we're really just, making sure that the money that our community gave to you, that you're using it with integrity, and then making sure that your program is running well. Are there other resources that maybe we could connect you to help you run more smoothly? I'll tell you this, prior to the pandemic, we had a funding year where we didn't give out money, and I'm going to tell you why.
Mm.
We are so responsible for these dollars. We are so committed to spending our money as a community wisely that the applications that we got and the proposals, although very good, although the programs were amazing, the applications weren't filled out properly. And I cannot sit in front of my community and say, I gave it out, but the budget wasn't filled out completely. Yeah, I gave them
Mm-hmm.
$5,000, but they didn't really tell me exactly how they were going to use it in operations. Like, I have to be able to stand before all of our donors with pride and say, hey, we gave money to this organization because, right? And then they deliver. So we read and we toiled over these applications, and we know, we're convicted that we can't do this, right? And that pointed out two things. One, we care. And two, there's a shortage of organizations asking for money. This
And
is money for you.
that's crazy.
I know.
There's so many organizations, so many good organizations that, they're doing so many things, so many organizations that are providing mentoring, that they're providing, like you said, the after school programs for our children, that they're providing the art programs, the dance programs, all of these organizations that should not be, that are here, that are around, that perhaps during the height of the shutdown, because we're still in a
Yeah.
pandemic, maybe we're not able to be open because of the fear of people giving COVID to each other. But now they're open and they're struggling, and they're like, I just need a little bit of help so that I can reopen this program and open my doors again, and be another force in the community, in the neighborhoods that is needed the most. And does it matter if it's a sports program? If it's a youth sports program?
Well,
'Cause
it depends on whether this program is teaching, right?
exactly. Okay.
So if this program is teaching, which sports, teamwork, the actual act of the sport is learning, right? And it's
Yes.
also
Yes.
a pathway to education for a lot of young men. And I don't mean scholarships. What I
Yes.
mean
Yes.
is, a lot of young men, I don't care if they have money or not, they just like football. Right? They just want to go to school and play some ball, and it keeps them engaged. Just like my music program kept me engaged in middle school and in high school, right? So as long as there's a curriculum that's being taught, or a skill that's being taught, then yes, yes. And Maritza, you make me laugh because you're like, and you know what? I don't want to take for granted that, listen, we're a small organization, so to speak. I mean, our first year out, we raised $5,000, and that was from several donors, over 100 donors, right? So these were
Mm.
people who said, yes, I'm on board, and they gave what they had. And I'll tell you, many of our counterparts, I've seen their numbers, and just to compare numbers, when they first started out, they didn't raise $5,000. That's a lot of money to raise just coming out of the gate. But we
Yes.
need our community to talk about us. We are a vehicle that's been created for our communities, for the communities of Southeastern Pennsylvania, which include Philadelphia.
Yes.
So I don't take for granted that maybe folks haven't heard about the Black Women Give Foundation, which is why I need to be, and all of my partners, we all need to be here and, on platforms such as Loop Them with Maritza to talk to your constituents about how we can help them.
Absolutely. Because I remember when we were talking yesterday, I had let you know that, last year, National Parents Union was able to give grants to many recipients across the country. And for those specific, and a lot of the applications were from people and nonprofits that were offering a service to children that were
Mhm.
helping them supplement their education while they had to be home learning virtually. And
Mhm.
the and they made sure that the application was not something that was difficult. They did, and just like you stated, they had to be very transparent and prove what they intended to do with the money.
Yep.
It wasn't just going to be someone's, hey, I got paid, I could go on vacation, I could buy a car, I could, none of that stuff was going on with
Mm-hmm.
regards to these specific grants, free grants that were given. So when you and I were talking, I was like, oh my goodness, because I know there was only one organization in Philly um, applied, but I'm quite sure there were others that did not know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like you said, I'm glad that you and I had a chance to connect and say, hey, let's amplify this, because hey, Sherry asked, she was like only in Pennsylvania, but Sherry, you now have the opportunity out in Georgia to find out if there is an organization that is also doing this, or hey, maybe Black Women Give
Mm-hmm.
can expand across, I mean, is expanding across southeastern Pennsylvania. Your organization can grow and expand to then identify certain states and certain cities and towns in certain states
Mm-hmm.
where the collective giving can happen as
Mm-hmm.
well, to be able to help more and more people in our communities that need it, that are
Yeah.
doing the good work.
Yeah, and I understand Sherry's point. Everybody's looking for a resource that they can attach to. So, unfortunately, we're not in Georgia, but we have plans to expand, and we did from the beginning. But we have to create visibility in southeastern Pennsylvania, and we have to. This is a community effort as well, and we are amplifying the voices of the underrepresented and the undersustained. When we're talking about the dollars that you can receive from your state, local government, federal government, we're talking about dollars that come with a lot of red tape. We're talking about dollars that ask that you function in a capacity that is not congruent with the community and the people that you serve. So what we've done is we've looked at our community and said, hey, we know the problems that we face and the challenges that we have. We know that there is a need for money to be filtered into these programs so that they can sustain, but also scale and help more people. But as our programs grow, as our donations grow, then we can grow. This is a volunteer-led organization. I've never drawn a dime from Black Women Give, and no one has except our grantees. And we want to quadruple 10 times our bank account so that we can help organizations in southeastern Pennsylvania, but then be a beacon and be an example so that we can scale out to different cities and states. We have to start where we are. And I ask you, Sharon, was it Sharon? I can't say.
Sherry.
I'm sorry, Sherry. I'm asking you, Sherry, if you do know of organizations or people in Philadelphia or southeastern Pennsylvania that run organizations that help children and youth in education or health and wellness efforts or economic stability efforts, let them know about the Black Women Give organization, because they will be able to write for this money. And through your word, you've helped to build a community. And that's what we're doing.
So for those that that don't understand all the acronyms, what does RFP stand for?
Okay, thank you. Acronym land. Okay,
Yes.
so a grant making organization, right, or a funder, someone who has dollars, will put out something called an RFP, and it's a request for proposal, right? Or sometimes they'll put out an RFI, a request for information, right? Because they need to know who's out there that needs our money. Now, RFP is saying, hey, we got this bucket of money. We have this allotted amount of time to give out this money, and we're scouring the area to find out who needs this money, right? So send us a proposal. Here's our application. Send us a proposal answering. The proposal is answering all of these questions and providing the documents that we ask for. And then when we receive it, we'll read it and we'll say, I think we can do it. Or here's another thing that we may say, for going back to the example of the year where we just didn't find it consciously right to give money. We told those organizations, we love what you do. We love the services that you provide to our communities. If you would attend a workshop with us on how to complete, and we do that, we will help you build capacity. So if you need help filling out these types of documents, if you need help learning how to be an evidence-based organization and collect the data that you need to write for grants like ours or bigger dollars, then we'll help you. And we say, hey, we're non-restrictive. So you can come back to the table next year, but we want you to come back to the table after we've had a workshop with you.
Oh my goodness. When is the last time, or when's the next time you guys are going to be having a workshop?
So we actually are in planning for workshops. It's been very difficult for us post pandemic for two reasons. One, just getting ourselves planted. There was a lot of loss between the four of us, from people to employment, and we actually, I have to say this, we actually put out an announcement for COVID relief dollars. Nobody asked for the money. Nobody asked for the money.
I can't.
We still have the money.
I can't.
So we are collecting dollars up until the end of December, and we may put on a workshop between now and the end of the year, which is very, very likely. But we'll have a full calendar of workshops for next year. But we are accepting donations. Remember, $5 we have donors that give well over $1,000 because they just love the mission. I'm talking to individuals. I'm talking to corporate America. I'm talking to small business owners. Let's give back to our city.
That's right.
And we will give back in dollars. We'll give back in capacity building and workshops. We'll show you how to do this.
That is, oh my.
Our goal is to be broke. Our goal is for our bank account every year to go to zero, so we can collect more money and give it out.
Exactly, and it's I hate that it becomes a use it or lose it situation, because it's there, it's available. But if the people that are funding you are seeing that no one's asking for the money, the funders are going to think nobody needs the money. And what nonprofit, 501?
Yes.
501 does not need
right.
a grant. Mm-hmm. What nonprofit does not need a grant? And I mentioned to you one of the organizations that I know, and I put that brother's name in the comments. I hope he tunes in whenever he can. He runs the Eco Foundation in West Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. He runs a program for mentoring youth. And brother, go apply for this grant.
Yeah.
Reach out and find out what's needed and apply for this grant.
Absolutely.
Within his organization, there are other young people also doing programs under his umbrella. Apply for the grant. I mean, and I would say it doesn't hurt to ask, because all a person can do is say no. But if you don't ask, no one's going to know that you're going to be requesting the help or the funds. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, you have to find grant money in Georgia, honey. You have to do it. You absolutely have to do it, because if there are organizations, and I'm quite sure there are many organizations that are willing to, assist.
Absolutely.
And what they ask is minimal in return. It may be, become a member of our organization, become a partner of our organization that's funding, but use that money for what is intended for, and
mm-hmm.
it's to help and assist our children. I mean, if I had a nonprofit, which people keep on telling me I need to just start one, mm-hmm. my goal, aside from education, will probably be, home life skills to show our young people, one, how to balance a checkbook, how to create a grocery shopping list, how to cook a meal.
Because Maritza can cook, y'all.
How to sort laundry. Some young people surprisingly do not know the mm-hmm. basics, and not through no fault of their own, but because their parents are working 2 and 3 jobs.
Yeah.
They may not have been able to show them.
Yeah.
They may not have been able to show them. So it's very,
Yes.
teaching somebody Spanish. And I mean, I tell you something, Summer, if you when you guys start this process,
Mm-hmm.
if your foundation decides to open this up, and you're willing to do it, to offer those trainings in Spanish,
We
I'll be
would
happy to
love
help
to.
you. I'll be happy to help you.
Maritza, thank
I
you.
would
We
I will be
would love
happy
to.
to help you with that, because
Yes.
there's so many organizations out here, and they just need a little leg up. That's all they need.
And let me explain this too, because a lot of times when we talk about names and labels, and people, they dissociate themselves from things, right? The Black Women Give Foundation was started by 4 Black women, right? Our tribe, right? Our communities are comprised of mostly Black women, and for not for nothing, but in many marginalized communities, not just African American or any type of marginalized community, we've always been philanthropists. We've always fed our neighbors, clothed our neighbors, watched our neighbors' children, tutored our neighbors' children, right? We've always taken our neighbors' kids to school. What we wanted to do was organize our giving. That's it. We wanted to engage Black women and girls, right, into an organized space where, hey, you're so giving of yourself in your community, but let's use that in this vehicle and encourage other people to give. What spawned from that, because Shayna and I, who Shayna is our chairwoman and founder, Shayna and I went back and forth about this, because I'm like, well, what about the guys? Because I'm like, community, right? So she was like, no, it's Black Women Give, because that's us. We're Black women, and and all of that, right? And it was aligned with the mission. But what we did was we started something called the Black Tie Club. The Black Tie Club is for men who support donors of the Black Women Give Foundation. We have members of BWG who are non-African American. Okay? We do. Caribbean, white. We have membership, right? So we need everyone who cares about the communities and the underrepresented of Southeastern Pennsylvania to donate. Because what we'll do is we'll turn that money around, and we will build capacity in our communities. And we will start a trend that, in my mind, should never go away: giving back.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Never.
I know you've seen that there are a lot of organizations out in our community that are trying to educate our young people with regards to de-escalation, the skill of
Mm,
de-escalation, to
mm-hmm.
prevent violence. For
Yes.
those that unfortunately are resorting to gun violence, would some of those nonprofits be under that eligible category if they're educating young people?
Well, listen, and that's the thing. Like, I'm on your show, and I know that your
Yes.
platform is children and youth and education, but don't forget about the other funding areas. So let's talk about mental health and mental wellness, right?
Yes, please.
Health and wellness is another one of our focus areas. So if you're doing any type of trauma-informed care or emotional wellness services, physical fitness, talking about your football guy, right? Physical
Yeah.
fitness and healthy nutrition, mental health supports, neighborhood beautification, preventative health screenings, homelessness, aging adult support. There are so many different ways that you could be an organization that is supporting and sustaining the good work of eradicating or mitigating these things. So if you're in the health and wellness space, yes, apply. If you're in the children and youth and education space, yes, apply. Maybe you're in the economic security space. Maybe you are, to your point, Maritza, if you're talking about, teaching people about money management and investments, home buying, career and technical training, credit repair, entrepreneurship, financial literacy. There's so many ways that your organization could be considered for dollars from the Black Women Give Foundation under that bucket. So what we're really looking to do is beautify and hug our communities from within. I'm going to put my money in, and then this organization is going to take it out and help our future. and
That's
help
right.
our children, or help my mental health and wellness, or help me get physically fit, or help me get this house that I really need, right? This is community building, this is kingdom building. This is the work that we've done as a community, our ancestors have done. This is the Black Women Give Foundation. And we need donations, and we need organizations who need those donations to step up to the plate. Visit bwgive.org and let's go. We've extended our donation period, our membership period, to December 1st. So we still do have time this year to amass monies to give out for the 21-22 fiscal year. And then guess what? We're going to open right back up and start taking donations for the following year.
Oh my goodness. And see, this is the thing. It's this is why I like doing what I do. I love doing what I do because this is information not only for anyone that is interested in making a donation to a nonprofit, but also a nonprofit that's interested and out there looking for the help that they may not know is there.
Yeah.
And that's why I appreciate you. And from all four of you, I mean, I know you and Jackie. I guess I'll get to meet the other two ladies one day. But I'm like,
Absolutely.
yeah, what I mean, because I mean, five, and then the fact that you guys are, going into your fifth year, which I think is absolutely amazing, lets me know that this is something that is sustainable. This is something that is doable. This is something that we have to continue to support as a people, for the benefit of everyone that's going to
Yeah.
receive the benefits of this, because it's not just I'm gonna get it and it's gonna be me, all about me. No, but if you are part of an organization that is under the criteria of that has an operating budget of 1 million or less,
Right.
and you just you have something in mind to help, whether it be an aftercare program, whether it be an art program, a dance program, some a homework helpline, anything that's going to help
Yes.
the community and our children. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness, I'm all about it. You know that.
Yes, please.
I am absolutely all about it. So if someone wants to reach out to you,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have the website here, but if someone wants to reach out to you directly, as far as, asking, can we get together and talk about how we can
Yeah.
build something similar in our state,
Yeah.
in our community, how can they reach you?
So send an email to info@bwgive.org.
Okay. I'm putting it on here right now.
Yes,
.org.
info@bwgive.org.
And then that way, I put it in the comments. And then
Yep.
that way, folks, if they want to reach out to you, they can absolutely, talk to you. Hey, even collaborate with you. Because,
Absolutely.
Southeastern Pennsylvania, maybe somebody on the other side in Western Pennsylvania wants to do the same thing. Maybe somebody
Absolutely.
in Southern New Jersey wants to do the same thing. Someone in Delaware wants to do the same thing. And they just don't know how to start it. They can talk to you, ladies, and you can,
Absolutely.
you guys can have that conversation, and that's how it begins to progress. It becomes a ripple effect. So what we want to create is a ripple effect, not only here in Philly. We want it to go outside of Philly, across southeastern Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
across the country, and that way we can see that collectively we can do things. Yes, we had a period of time in which the federal government was helping a lot of people out.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know that there are people in certain political seats that want that assistance to end. They
Yes.
no longer want families to get tax credits for children continuously every month. They no longer want families to be able to continue to receive pandemic EBT, food stamp assistance. They no longer want to assist people that are still looking for a job to get unemployment assistance. But if those people that are in need of help want to go to organizations
Yeah.
that can offer them different resources or
Mm-hmm.
different avenues to help them, and we
Mm-hmm.
see that part of what they're using is something that is given by Black Women Give, that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And pre-pandemic, we would have events around giving. So we would get, we did a lot of things at WeWork. in Northern Liberties, and we really miss being able to just, convene ourselves together and just talk about giving and just talk about our communities and what we can do. But I mean, we really celebrate giving. We celebrate $5, we celebrate $5,000, because it's money that we can give to an organization that's doing work that's sustaining our communities. I mean,
Absolutely.
yes, there are people out there who don't want us to succeed as a community and don't want those dollars that are being passed into our communities to continue. And guess what? It's their prerogative to do. But how about we put our focus on vehicles like BW Give that are built for our communities, our underserved, underrepresented communities, and pour into these organizations? Because I'll have you know, we're pouring it back out. We're pouring
That's
it
right.
back out to our community. And we're doing it, again, not just in grants, but also with workshops and capacity building and just helping our community become more sustainable from within.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You're singing to me, Summer. You're singing to me. And this and see and this is the type of organization that I definitely would love. And we talked about it. We're going to talk about it more offline,
Yes.
because you guys have, you have your different buckets,
Mm-hmm.
but your children and youth bucket is really something that I'm laser focused on. So
Yes.
so I definitely would like us to collaborate with regards to being able to help more families, because there definitely are families that are still, it's the first week of November. It's getting colder.
Yeah.
Things are happening. The
Yeah.
weather's changing. It's going to start getting darker earlier. So we know that in our communities, a lot of things start to shift
Yes.
once the weather gets colder and it starts getting darker early. A lot of things seem to shift in our communities,
Mm-hmm.
in our neighborhoods, and the needs become more. I mean, I tagged Mr. Raymond Gant for
Mm-hmm.
because he has his nonprofit that he feeds the homeless
Yes.
constantly, and he provides neighborhood cleanups across the city. He says it. He says,
It's my
"What?
kind of guy.
What? I'm gonna put you in contact with him." I'm like, I mean, there and I talked to him. A wonderful gentleman, and he asked. He'll put things on social media and said, "What areas in our city need to be cleaned up? Let me know." And our volunteers will go and clean it up.
I want to be a volunteer because I
Yeah,
love to clean.
yes. Listen, and that's what it's about. It just takes a couple of people collectively saying we want to make our block by block. We want to make our block look better. We don't want to see trash. We don't want to see, crack vials. We don't want to see needles. We don't
Yep.
want to see any of those kinds of things. Look at that. Hi, Mr. Hey, Brian, what's up? See, he's out in Connecticut. Brian, that there I'm quite sure that there may be organizations out there, but if not, reach out to Miss Summer Fitch, and
Please.
she can probably connect you with somebody out there in Connecticut, because he's saying they need it. He said you need to come out to Connecticut because he's out
I
there.
love to come to Connecticut.
He's one of our Northeast National Parents Union parents, and he's also a foster parent. So he and I have talked. He's an amazing person out there. Everybody
Right.
needs an
And
organization like this in their community.
and listen, I am a regular person, right? I'm a friend, I'm a family member. I want this for the community just like anybody else. But I also understand that we have to collectively rally around one thing. In order for it to grow, we've got to build it up from start. We can't look at something and say, oh, yeah, let's go out to Connecticut. It sounds great, right? We want to get there, but let's build up this first iteration of the Black Women Give Foundation in Southeastern Pennsylvania and get those corporate donations and be able to give out $500,000, $2 million, right? People will be knocking down our doors to start chapters. We've already actually started a blueprint to start chapters in other states because one of our board members is in upstate New York, and there is a heavy interest for Black Women Give to come to upstate New York. And we're closer to going there than anywhere just because of the interest, right?
In Rochester?
In the area, right, in the upstate area.
Okay.
Buffalo, Rochester, that
Yes,
entire
yes,
corridor, Syracuse, that entire corridor, right? So,
yeah.
and because she's there and she's a very sought after person when it comes to community engagement and entrepreneurial support and things of that nature, they're like, hey, Tamika, can we bring Black Women Give to our town, right? Of course we can bring it to your town. We'd love to, but we want to see it work the way it's supposed to work in southeastern Pennsylvania. And I would love to talk to anybody anywhere who is thinking about doing this, because we'd love to partner with you to make it come true. We'd love to partner with you if you did it yourself. Our name doesn't have to be attached to it. That's not what we're doing this for. We do this to give back, not to get any type of praise.
See? And before you and I finish speaking, please tell Mama Debbie happy birthday.
Woo! It's my beautiful mom's birthday.
Yeah, tell her give her tell her I sent air hugs to her.
Yes,
and
I
Stella.
will.
And Stella, yes, Lilo, she's outside. She normally would be right up under me.
Yes, we love our dogs around here.
Nudging me, trying to get some time. But yeah, definitely for anyone.
I sure will.
Anyone is interested in information, here again, I'm gonna put it here really big. info@bwgive.org.
Yes.
Summer, how has almost an hour gone by?
I don't know.
And I don't know.
We can talk about this all day.
Listen,
and look, let me say this. If you're ready to donate, just go to bwgive.org and click the donate button. I mean, it's that simple. If you're ready now, go. Let's build this bucket up so we can give out this money. I love how we say that. My dad always makes fun of that when we say that and feel like this money. He's like, what money? This money. We want to give out this money.
And so, I mean, that's the thing. So many of us, especially, I mean, and I'm one of the first to say that I'm guilty of it. We have spent so many dollars on just ordering things online. And it may have been something that we may have just used once and tossed it in the closet or put it in the kitchen shelf and, in a cupboard and just never looked at it again, and probably spent, $50, $100 to $200 for it and never use it again. So how about, and this is my personal request, how about we say, instead of one day going into Amazon Prime, which loves me, and Walmart.com, go onto this website, donate what you can.
Yes.
And know that money is going to be used to help others.
Yes.
That it's going to help many people, not just you or those in your immediate household. How about we challenge ourselves to do that? Because just like we spend money on things. I mean, I could honestly say that if my husband would love me to throw away every single thing that I have here that I haven't used more than one time, he would love me to just throw it all out. And it's coming. That purge is coming. But make a donation to something that is going to help you and help others in your community, your immediate community, where you'll be able to see the dollars at work.
Yes.
Instead of you wondering, where did this money go? I haven't seen it. I don't know it. I don't understand it.
You can do it.
Let's do that.
You can do it.
Summer, thank you so very much.
Thank you. I'm thanking you on behalf of the board. I'm thanking you on behalf of our previous recipients, our future recipients. Just thank you for allowing us to use your platform and partner with you to build capacity for BWG and just to continue to bless our communities.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Lilo.
There she goes. Lilo.
She's so big. She has to bark.
She's very big. His Mecca's coming home. I'm sorry. Sorry, folks. My daughter is coming home. Nice. She wants to know what's going on. It happens. It happens. So somebody, if you want to stay in the green room while I say my closing comments to folks, please do so. But again, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Mecca. We will talk again. Let me say bye to everybody and thank them for viewing. Thank you so much. Family, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. To all of you that did tune in, I truly, truly appreciate you taking time from your day to listen, to be informed, to be enlightened with regards to things that are available to help all of us as a whole, as a community. Again, my name is Maritza with the National Parents Union. If you're interested in becoming a member, all you have to do is go on to the National Parents Union website, www.nationalparentsunion.org. If you want information about the National Parents Union, all you need to do is go to info@npunion.org, and you can shoot an email and someone will respond to you very quickly. Families, please, once again, please make sure that you are safe. Please understand your status. We're getting there with regards to people agreeing to comply and getting themselves vaccinated against COVID-19. If you're one of the ones that chooses not to, that is fine, but please make sure that you wear your mask to ensure that anyone else around you stays safe. Until the next time, thank you so very much for tuning in to another Looped In with Maritza. Have a very good rest of your Wednesday and a very good rest of your week. Thank you very much, and talk to you soon.